Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All right, United Football League, week number 8. Only 3 weeks left in the regular season. Only 10 weeks for the UFL. And then here in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're going to start the CFL. Woo. Goodness gracious, football year long. That's like 45 straight weeks of football between the UFL, the CFL, NFL. It's going to be fun times. All right, last week, picks not great. 2-2. Against the straight up picks, 1-3 against the spread, 1-3 on the over/under. Year to date, overall straight 500, 16-12 on the win-loss, 12-16 against the spread, 14-14 on the over/under. Overall, 42-42. I guess it's okay. I'm even. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Some of these weeks it's kind of been weird to kind of see. Okay. This team should have won, but they didn't. But they didn't do that. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's just kind of yo-yoing. But we'll see what happens here. So we have the first game. Now, first initially hear this, you're going to think one thing, and then you look at the stats, you're going to think something else. So I went somewhere else. We have the 5-2 Orlando Storm, one of the 3 teams that are 5-2, against the 3-4 Dallas Renegades. Now, the Storm. They're number 1 in defense, giving up 17 points a game, 6 in offense, scoring 20 points a game. Middle of the pack with yards, 5th in offense, 6th in defense. First downs, they are getting more first downs than they're giving up, 120 to 116. Here's the big stat. The Orlando Storm are 2-2 at home, 3-0 on the road. That's intriguing. But the 3-4 Dallas Renegades, they are 3rd in points scored. They are, of course, some of them giving them up. So they're giving up more points than they're scoring. That's why they're 3-4. But they have the 2nd best offense, the 3rd best defense in total yards. They are 3-1 at home, 0-3 on the road. They're actually scoring more first downs than they're giving up, 130 to 126. So you have a team that's really good at home, 3-1, against a team that's really good on the road, 3-0. But you get the number 1 defense versus the number 7 defense when it comes to points. But the number 3 offense in points versus number 6. The 2nd best offensive yards in a 3-4 team. That's crazy. The line of this game is Dallas -2.5. I'm actually going with that. Dallas wins, covers the 2.5. Based on that number 1 defense and points that Orlando has, I'm going under on the 45.5. Next up, we have the 5-2 DC Defenders taking on the 3-4 Louisville Kings. 1st in offense for the DC Defenders in points. 2nd in defense, giving up points. 1st in offensive yards. 4th in defensive yards for DC. They are 2-1 on the road, 3-1 at home, so they're a better home team. If you look at the 3-4 Louisville Kings, 4th in points scored, 3rd in points given up, 7th in yards on offense, 7th on defense. So they're giving up a lot of yards on defense. They're 0-3 at home, 3-1 on the road. First down wise, they're getting smoked, 102 to 126. But DC is actually underwater on first downs. They're giving up 125 this year. They've only scored 121. DC is actually favored by 5.5. There's no reason not to go with that. I don't think Louisville can step up enough at home because, again, they've struggled at home this year. So I got DC winning, covering the 5.5 and under on the 45.5. Next up, we have the 2-5 Houston Gamblers taking on the 5-2 St. Louis BattleHawks. 5th in yards scored and yards on offense and yards on defense. Houston is 5th in both. BattleHawks is 8th in yards scored, 1st in defensive yards given up. So they're able to hold the defense down, which is good. They're getting more first downs they're giving up, which is actually another big positive there. But the same for Houston. This one's kind of unique for me because if you look at the points, offensively, 22 for BattleHawks, 18 for the Gambler, or 17.9 for the Gamblers. But defense, the Gamblers are giving up a lot more. Away from home, Houston is 0-3. At home, St. Louis is 3-0. The BattleHawks are favored by 7.5 at home. I actually have Houston covering the 7.5 and under on the 44.5. Next up, we have the 2-5 Columbus Aviators taking on the 3-4 Birmingham Stallions. 5th in points scored, 6th in points given up for Columbus, 7th in points scored for Birmingham, and 5th in points given up. So they're giving up almost 23.4 to 24.9. So giving up almost the same points. Yards, though. 4th in offense for Birmingham, 3rd in offense for Columbus. So we got 2 offensive juggernauts here. But Columbus has given up the 2nd most yards of any team this year. They are 0-4 on the road. But Birmingham is only 1-2 at home, so it's not like it's a big difference. The Aviators, though, 139 first downs, 1st in the UFL, but they're giving up 122. They're giving up the 3rd most first downs. Don't worry, Birmingham is giving up the most first downs on defense, but only scoring 114. They're giving up 126. The line on this game is Birmingham minus 2.5. Because Columbus is 0-4 on the road, I'm going to go with Birmingham. I got them winning, covering, taking under on the 45. So, quick little recap here. Dallas minus 2.5, under on the 45.5. DC minus 5.5, under on the 45.5. St. Louis BattleHawks win. I got Houston covering the 7.5, and then under on the 44.5, and then Birmingham minus 2.5. Under on the 45.5. So I went under on all 4 this week. So we'll see where that brings us out here. But currently we're at 500. The goal now is to try to just maintain the 500. Let's not get below 500. But that is the UFL week number 8. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. And don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day, Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.